being a black gay person is very different. My mum was born in Jamaica. She was, raised in Africa. And I think 6 to 7 countries in Africa, it's still punishable by death.
I did not know what to do with the information. I was like, are there other people like me? Like, what, do I speak to a doctor? Like, what do I do now?
Hey guys, I'm Eyre, and you are watching the Truth Flirts, the unfiltered, brutally honest series all about dating, brought to you by dating app Badoo, the place to date honestly. In today's episode, we'll be discussing all things gender and sexuality. All right then, guys, let's get into it. What was your experience of coming out?
Well, I did it on screen on The Only Way is Essex. And I hadn't spoken to my family about it prior to that episode going out. So I just came out to basically everyone at the same time and then just switched my phone off for a week.
And that was quite recent, wasn't it?
It was in 2017, I think.
Wow. So how did you find that? What was the initial process?
Well, like, my friends all knew, but I lived like such a double life, like between home and outside of my house.
Yeah.
So I forgot that it was a big deal until the episode went out and my family watched the episode and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot it's a big deal, yeah.
Oh no, so you didn't tell them before the episode
So then
came out?
like, I went through it again. Like, and I was like, oh, it was very difficult.
I imagine your friends were really supportive.
Yeah, well, they were just like, okay, like...
Yeah, that's how it is.
We knew, anyway, like...
And how long did it take for your family to sort of come round to the idea and did you have to have a lot of conversations about it?
I think they just had a lot of conversations internally with themselves.
Yeah.
And then it was just okay.
There's different bits of like questioning my gender identity at different ages. So like I have memories of when I was 4 and that kind of carried on right until I got a bit older. And you know when like girls and boys in school start like, oh no, ooh, don't want to like play with them.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh wait, I'm getting rejected by the group that I thought I was part of.
Yeah.
And that really made me kind of stop questioning and just be like, I need to accept this.
Yeah.
And then I saw a documentary when I was 16 about a trans guy and I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
So like 16 is when I like realized, but I think it's been a process that I've kind of like known and been thinking about on and off my whole life. Because I think part of me was like, why didn't I know this before?
Yeah.
And then it was like this light bulb moment and then very overwhelming because I was like, oh my God, I know how to describe how I'm feeling, but like, wow, this is much.
Yeah.
Like, how do I deal with this? What do I do now?
Culturally, like, being a black gay person is very different.
Yeah.
Like, my mum was born in Jamaica. She was, raised in Africa and in, I think, 6 to 7 countries in Africa, it's still punishable by death, So her vision of it was very much like, you're going to hell, And my siblings were sort of, and myself was raised with that sort of inherent like feeling of being gay is so wrong.
Yeah.
So I had this internalized homophobia for such a long time where I thought I was going to hell and I thought this is so wrong and so evil. So that was a huge hurdle for me to overcome because when my family then became okay with it, I still wasn't. I still thought I'm wrong for a long time.
I think it's so inspirational that you're being so open and honest.
When I came out on TV, I said in the episode, I just don't want to be gay, I want to live a normal life. Which obviously I know I'm living a normal life now, but back then I was still dealing with those thoughts in my head as that I'm going to hell and this isn't normal. And my vision of normal was like the vision that I'd seen on TV, which I'd grown up watching. I wasn't represented on TV at all. Like I never had any black gay people to look up to. So I felt like I was alone in this. Like I would go on YouTube and find people in like 7,000 miles away, but I didn't feel a connection with those people. So I genuinely felt I was alone. I felt like I didn't even have my own community support. So I felt even more isolated,
I felt very alone. I think that there was like it was very niche. So there were some people on like YouTube and everybody was from America. So I was like, okay, great. Like I know there's trans people out there, but what do I do in the UK? Now, like I'd say in the last 5 years, it really exploded. But 10 years ago, that was like very little.
What was it like voicing those feelings to friends and family?
It's terrifying.
Was it?
Yeah, like it's so, you figure this like massive thing out about yourself. I took some time to like accept it about myself. And then I spoke to my mum first and I kind of introduced her to it slowly because I was like, oh, that's best, like just in case she's like not cool with it. Every new person I had to tell, it was like, okay, like this is gonna be really scary. I mean, I was really lucky to have a great like support system.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was really terrifying,
What's your advice for somebody that's questioning their gender identity or their sexuality?
There's no rush.
Nice.
There's no rush.
Yeah.
It's your own journey. You just live your life as you and just be happy and know that you're loved.
Oh, I love that.
So good.
I've never heard that advice before. It's good though. It's just, I feel like that you must feel this pressure when you're confused to, tell somebody about it, but at the same time it's sort of exploring it, discovering it.
I had a friend who started transitioning at 13, and when she told me that, I was like, isn't that a bit young?
Yeah.
But it's not my journey.
Yeah.
It's not my journey to have to even understand or even need to understand. It's her journey. Yeah. So just knowing that it's not your journey and just listen, and I think that's how straight people can really help.
Even if you don't understand, even if you're not at a point of accepting, allowing yourself to have that open mind. Because I feel like a lot of people can be shut off with their own opinions and not willing to understand another way of life or another way of being. So just allowing yourself to be open and receptive. It can be really important to have that person. So for me, I thought that would be my mum. And it was. And it's you have somebody on your team, someone who supports you. So if you feel like you've got somebody like that in your life, that's maybe someone you go to first.
Yeah.
Usually when someone's going through their own struggle, they don't have the mental capacity to engage in negative arguments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you're at school and you're seeing someone going through something, you don't have to get into a fight obviously, but just maybe be a voice for them.
Yeah.
I was very lucky. I have a brother who's a year older than me. So when I was being targeted at school and stuff for being too feminine or whatever, he'd always be my big brother. But sometimes people don't have a big brother, so just be that big brother if you can,
Do you think someone should have to wait until they're 18 to be free to declare who they are?
I figured out I was trans at 16, started my transition at 17, and I started at 17 because I started the process and identifying as myself from 16. If I'd had to wait, and 2 years, it doesn't sound like that much, but if I'd had to wait 2 years, imagine always wearing your shoes on the wrong feet.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, but you don't figure it out. And as soon as you figure it out, imagine somebody then turning around and saying, no, you need to wait.
Yeah.
You can't fix that. You know exactly what's going to sort it out. You know exactly what's bothering you, but you can't do anything about it until you reach this arbitrary age.
Would you be happy to date somebody who wasn't sure of their sexuality or identity?
I think in the past, I've always been attracted to that.
Yeah.
Because it is something that I went through as a struggle. So I'd always be the guy that was like, oh, I love a straight guy, a stray, I call them. And I would go after that guy. But as I've grown up and learned to love myself, I realized that I don't have time for that right now. And I think it's someone's individual journey that they have to go through.
Yeah.
And although I would lean and give them my support in that journey, I don't want to be attracted to that, But when I was younger, that would be fun.
I met my partner at college. So we were best friends for about a year. And then I came out as trans and we kind of got to know each other. The friendship was re-explored and then we developed feelings for each other from there. Yeah, we were going to get married in 2 weeks.
No way!
Yeah.
Was that delayed because of lockdown?
Yeah,
no.
So it's now next year.
Well, we're so lucky now that we have apps like Badoo and, we have the internet, we have social media where you can actually connect with people within an instant and you can have this honest relationship. You can FaceTime, you can do all this stuff and get to know people that you relate to very quickly. 10 years ago, we didn't have these apps, so you'd just be roaming the streets looking for someone like you. Do you know what I mean? It was much more difficult.
On the Badoo app, there are over 50 different gender and sexual identities for users to choose from. So how important do you think this is?
I think on an individual level, having those options can be very important. But I also appreciate that from an outside perspective, it can look confusing to have that many different ones. But the validation people can feel from being able to actually find it on a tick box, what they identify as, and be yeah, this is me. So it obviously has its positives, so people can feel included and validated, but it can be difficult when people are questioning, the pressure to well, what am I then? But at the same time, I think that openness to even be questioning and feeling you can be okay, well, who am I? How do I fit in here? And being able to talk about that and feel those feelings, I think there's definitely a lot more openness.
So you've got some whiteboards behind you, I believe. I'm going to read out some sentences and I'm going to say the word blank, and obviously you have to fill out what that word is. Facts only.
What do I win?
What do you win? Yeah. Glory.
Okay, glory.
That's it. Research found that 1 in blank, queer young people use gender-neutral pronouns. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that's really interesting. It's 4.
No way!
Nailed it!
Yes to the glory!
Blank % of people in the UK have said they thought it was important for children to learn about LGBTQIA+ identities in school. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, close. Very close. 94%.
No way.
Yeah.
I wanted to put something higher, but I was like, no way.
I was like, Britain's not that progressive.
I think that's really great.
I think that's incredible.
Yeah. Blank year was when gay marriage was legalised in the UK. Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. Have you got an answer?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Jamie, you're correct.
What was it?
Bang on. Blank date was when the LGBTQ became an acronym. 3, 2, 1, go. 1988.
No
way.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? But also...
I don't remember hearing that when I was growing
No,
up.
me neither. But I guess in a way that shows how far we've come, that we're hearing about it all the time now. This is why 94% of the country think it's important. Let's work on that 6%. Wow, what an episode. Lots of interesting topics explored there and definitely lots to think about. Thank you so much to Vas and to Jamie for joining me and sharing your experiences. For more juicy dating discussions, tune into the next episode and follow us at Badoo UK. While you're here, why not give dating at Badoo a try, hit the download button and start making some honest connections today.